What's good? What's good? It's the one, the only, but what do I know? Boxer coming back at y'all with another one, man. So I just wanted to do a fight recap of last night. First and foremost, let me just say, gotta give a big shout out to the PBC, man. They put on an amazing card. I mean, literally from the start to the finish, it was all exciting fights, man. That's I don't think it should have been a pay-per-view card. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I don't think it should have been on pay-per-view, but I am gonna sit here and I will say this, man. I think that it was definitely worth watching, man. The whole card was just a stacked, just a great action pack. Not one boring fight. I think the Lara fight got some boos, but that was due to because the fight only lasted 2 rounds anyways, but 2 or 3 rounds. But that was due to the fact that everybody, because it was so much action pack going on, it was like, hey man, don't bring that that boring stuff over here. But even his fight, man, ended it with a knockout, man. It was just overall, it was a great night. Okay, first and foremost, Julio Cesar Martinez fought, man. He fought Cordova. I can't think of his first name, but anyways, I don't really get into the smaller guys. Listen, we're all boxing fans, but I just think it's weird as hell that 2 grown men can weigh in at 112 pounds. But whatever, forever, whatever. Julio Cesar Martinez has been around for a while. He got the victory, which was Cordova's fault, because Cordova thought that he had to fight in a bag and he just took the last round off. Had he would have fought the last round, he probably could have got the victory. But anyways, I don't really care too much about that. But let's get Erislandy Lara versus Michael Savora, whatever. Michael Savora, this dude has been around for a long time. He actually lost against Peter Quillin, and that just shows you how long he's been around, because Peter Quillin has kind of been MIA for 5 years now. But anyways, the thing about Erislandy Lara, he's starting to get knockouts more now, right? And again, I said this yesterday in the video, bro, it's because Lara can't move around like he used to, right? He doesn't have the same legs that he used to have. So he's able to sit down on his punches more, which is actually, causing him to, get better results. He's sitting down on his punches. He's able to get more knockouts, bro. This is like his 3rd 1-punch knockout in a row, and I'm loving it, bro. I'm liking it and at the age of 41, Lara is, he's up there, but man, the dude is still making noise, and that's great. All right. So I look forward to, obviously Lara has the WBA title at 160. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do in the near future or whatnot. I would love to see him maybe unify. Bro, him and Jamal Charlo is both with the PBC. That fight definitely is not a fight that should be on pay-per-view. But if they're gonna put it on pay-per-view, that has to be an undercard fight. But I would like to see him and Jamal Charlo unify. I don't see why they couldn't. They have history together. They used to spar together. They were both under the tutelage of Ronnie Shields. So I don't see why that fight couldn't happen. But it just can't be a headliner for a pay-per-view. Or if it is a headliner, it can't be a pay-per-view. But if it's on a pay-per-view, it has to be an undercard. But I don't see why they can't make that. But that's even if Jamal Charlo can make 160 anymore. Who knows, right? Furthermore, the co-main event, Rolly Romero versus Isaac Cruz, bro, that was a great fight. A lot of people give Rolly slack, man. I had made a post on the Facebook group that I follow or whatnot, and a lot of people, they don't like to give Rolly credit, but I think Rolly actually, I picked Isaac to beat Rolly, obviously, for obvious reasons, but I think Rolly actually looked pretty good, bro. Before he got stopped, Rolly just ain't got good. He needs to work on his footwork. He does that hopping, he hops around. He can't move around suddenly with his foot. He has to hop around or whatnot. That's basically because he's very flat-footed. He's not on the balls of his feet. But I was actually shocked at how Rolly was able to keep Isaac at a distance. And though Isaac looked good against Rolly, Isaac is gonna have problems against the guys like Devin Haney or guys like Shakur that are good with throwing a jab and good with controlling distance and range. Even if you look at his last fight, a lot of people were criticizing how he looked because the guy that he fought was moving around and didn't allow him on the inside. And the thing about Isaac is he does not throw any jabs. He does not throw any twos. He doesn't throw straight punches. He throws hooks. And a hook is an inside. You have to be mid-range to inside. A hook is not an outside punch unless if you're Roy Jones. And so meaning that, bro, until he gets mid-range to inside, when he closes the distance, which that's also something that he's not good at. You know what I'm saying? Like Isak looked good against Rolly because Rolly's style was tailor-made for Isak, right? Rolly is definitely somebody that can't fight on the inside because he's too wide with his shots. And Rolly doesn't really, Rolly loads up on punches and makes a lot of mistakes himself. However, Isak does not know how to cut off the distance, and the way you cut off the distance is by double jabbing or jabbing, right? But because he doesn't do that, he just throws hooks. He pretty much just walks. Now, I don't think anybody's gonna knock out Isak. Isak got a freaking chin, right? But you see the neck exercises he does. However, if he plans on holding on to that WBA belt, he's gonna have to learn how to cut the distance off by jabbing his way on the inside rather than just walking on the inside. Because I mean, if you fight somebody like Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson, like, they're gonna just pretty much pot shot you all night, boom, boom, and they're gonna get out of the way, and you're not gonna be able to close the distance. Then you're gonna be upset and say that they ran the whole night, when in fact, I mean, you just made it easier because you don't have a jab. I mean, again, the jab has the most jabs out of every punch. The jab, you can't, he's made it thus far. But I mean, it's the reason why I'm telling you now, if without a jab, he's not going to, unless if he fights somebody like Subriel Matias, he's not going to win. He's not going to beat too many high caliber guys just based off of the fact that he does not have a jab or a two. But regardless, he did look good against Rolly. Rolly was talking a lot of trash, and it is what it is, man. Rolly got a chin too, though, man. I guess because like Rolly was taking a lot of punches and he didn't go down. The referee stopped. And he got wobbled. But the referee stopped the fight on Rolly's, Rolly was stopped on his feet. Now, I actually, you know what? Even before Subriel Matias, bro, I would love to see Isak Cruz versus Ismael Barraza, the guy that Rolly fought to get the belt. And a lot of people thought that the fight was stopped unfairly. Bro, Isak gotta fight him. That would be a great fight. I would really love to see that fight right there. They gotta make that fight next. I would love to see Isak versus Ismael Barraza, whatever his last name is. Gotta make that fight happen. Ismael just knocked out what's the guy's name? He just knocked him out in the first round. O'Hara Davies or whatever. He just knocked him out in the first round. So I definitely want to see that. As far as Rolly goes, bro, speaking of O'Hara Davis, bro, shoot, just get a fight with Rolly and O'Hara Davis, bro. Like both of them, both of them are, I don't think highly of O'Hara at all. But I think that makes for an exciting fight. The only problem is O'Hara is with Golden Boy, if I'm not mistaken, or he might still be signed to Golden Boy. I'm not sure. Regardless, either way it goes, I mean, I think it's still, Rolly still has a future. He can sell a fight. I don't think he'll be like, now he's gonna have to humble himself. He's not gonna be able to be a main event type fighter, but he can still sell a fight. All right, and as far as the main event goes, well, not the outcome that I expected, but I'm not mad at it. Sebastian Fundora is a very good kid. He's the type of kid, got a very nice smile, man. You want to see him do good. You want to see him do good in life, man. You do. And I'm proud that he is able to become a unified champion. Though it was under some, unusual circumstances, but this is boxing. It is what it is. And just to be quite frank, it's not like it was his fault. He didn't initiate the contact which caused for the gash on the top of Tim Tszyu's head. For y'all that didn't watch it, what happened was in the second round, I believe, Tim Tszyu was going in for a shot. I think it might have been a hook to a body or a straight to the body or whatever, and his head ran into the elbow of Sebastian Fundora, and Sebastian Fundora didn't have his elbow out. He had his elbow tucked in as if he was to block a body shot, and Tim Tszyu ran into it. It's boxing. It happens. You have a southpaw against a right hand. Normally it's a clash of heads, but because Sebastian Fundora is like damn near a foot taller than Tim Tszyu, it was only Tim Tszyu like he was at eye level with Sebastian Fundora's elbow. He ran into it, and then the blood. The thing about, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you bleed from the head, it always looks worse than what it really is. Right now, it was a bad gash. Don't get me wrong on that, right? But when you bleed from the head, like just blood will come pouring down. If you ever seen somebody get their head busted, like the gash doesn't even have to be that big, but if you bust somebody on the top of the head, like it's just gonna be blood is gonna be everywhere, So blood, obviously, it was flowing in the eyes of Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu, that was adversity, that Tim Tszyu had to face, and just trying to wipe the blood. And if you don't know, once blood gets in your eyes, it can hinder you from seeing clearly, especially. So, man, he just having to wipe the blood out of his eyes and all that. And I mean, his corner they didn't help much. I mean, when the round was over, Tim Tszyu went to his corner, and it was like, I kid you not, they would like pack on a whole bunch of adrenaline and stuff to put on that gas to try to stop the bleeding. The moment Tim Tszyu would stand up, blood would just pour right down to his eyes. Like, it was like nothing that his corner did to help. He needed Stitch Duran. He definitely needed a Stitch Duran in his corner that night. But even Stitch Duran made a tweet saying that type of cut is that he had over his head. The gash that he had, Tim Tszyu had over his head, was like the worst type, to like the hardest to try to stop from bleeding or whatnot. So obviously, I thought Sebastian Fundora did very good with using his distance more. I really appreciated how he would jab and then turn Tim Tszyu. I talked about that last night in my post-conference video, my post-fight video or whatnot. He would just throw the jab out there, and then when Tim Tszyu tried to come in, he just would turn him. And being a southpaw, he would pivot to his right, turn him or whatnot, and then throw the jab back, and it would constantly make Tim Tszyu have to reset. Now, obviously, Tim Tszyu had a lot of success as well. Well, he had success as well. Obviously, the fight, if not, the fight would have been a split decision. But it was just only so much. If you guys want to check a full breakdown, go check out my video from last night. All right, now for what I want to see next, obviously Errol Spence hopped in the ring, so it's possible that they could be trying to make an Errol Spence versus Sebastian Fundora. And I know what everybody's thinking, like, why would they do that and not do Chance Crawford? Well, you got to remember who PBC is more loyal to, the person that's been there or the person that just came, right? Which is Errol Spence, who's been there. So they're trying to make an Errol Spence versus, or it's rumored that it could possibly be Errol Spence versus Sebastian Fundora. That'd be a weird fight, just a fight that I never was expecting to see or whatever. But I do remember Sebastian Fundora saying that he will drop down to 147 to fight Errol Spence. As crazy as that seems, but who knows? Overall, I give the whole night probably like an 8 out of 10. It was just an overall very good card. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. What was your favorite fight? But what do I know?